The High Elves are done, and we're now kicking off the Dark Elves with, by request, the Witch King Malekith himself. Today we're going to be doing part 1 of this guide, which is going to be turns 1 to 10. Today we're going to confederate Crone as well as Rakarth, and we can do this by turn 9, but I'm going to show you why we're going to do this in turn 10, because it's better. And the following video, between turn 30 or turn 40, we will obtain the rest. I know that's a wide span, but Morathi's a pain in the ass. And we're going to start a brand new campaign, no mods, cheese or exploits needed. Let's get into it. Legendary difficulty, by the way. First thing we do is we look in diplomacy and go to Clar Karond. And if we initiate diplomacy, we should be able to attempt trade and non-aggression. And we'll try again. So we're looking again. Oh, Underdog, there we go. So the Underdog trade there, that's what we want. This took me about 4 restarts to get, but then they'll accept. So that's really, really important, because this will make it easier to confederate Clar Karond, because even if you have no visibility, they will let you make contact with the Cult of Pleasure. So it's very similar to how a Calador confederating that gives you Isles and Imric, even though you can't see the territory. So this is probably the most important non-legendary lord that you need to confederate for that reason. So the next up, we bring up the diplomacy screen again, and we can always get non-aggression with the Forgebound. Now, as a foreign power, Hmong, we want to sign non-aggression, and in subsequent turns we'll ask them to join the war. With Clan Septic, they won't do it yet, but they will. And then most importantly, Harganeth. We're going to confederate her turn 2 by trading a defensive alliance and military access for war with Grond. And there we go, and she's accepted that, so outstanding. Malice Darkblade as well. What we'll do is we're going to agree to join his war. He won't do this for anything, but joining the war will just help us keep that relationship relatively current. Some people end this alliance straight away. I found it really doesn't actually change a lot, because either way he won't really confederate till he loses Malice himself. Leave him till last, let him unite the Dragon Isles, build it up, and then confederate him. You will get your chance. So right click on the Great Arena with Malekith and press backspace once you're most of the way there to stop him from moving, and then join the Sorceress. And then we're going to attack. Actually, you can just auto resolve this. Oh damn, oh well. I'll just do the fight. Regardless of how you did, there you go. And in this case, we want to loot and occupy. This is going to be the common theme for what we do here. So this settlement and this province here is going to revolt, and we're okay with that. The reason why this is okay is because it's quite close to Naggarond, and Grond is there, and it'll all make sense soon. So as for research, we're just going to go towards continuous slave supply, which will increase our slaves taken. As you know, very important for the Dark Elf economy. For the level up, we're going to be working towards Lightning Strike with Malekith, and as for his Fire Mage, we're going to get Fireball, Burning Head and Kindle Flame, of course, and get her on a horse as soon as possible. We're going to recruit 3 Dark Shards, and we're going to just repair the capital. It doesn't take much, but this gives you growth. So damaged buildings normally don't matter, but growth and economy do matter. So we're going to leave the barracks all busted up, it still works just fine. But we're going to smash up the barracks here, because we're not going to be using that, and instead upgrade the capital. Turn 2, open up diplomacy. If you didn't get trade with Clar Karond last turn, you can, but again, I really recommend getting where they have the Underdog trait. We're more importantly going to go to Harganeth, and we're going to actually sell all of the treaties to them, and they'll actually buy all of them. So the trade, you could do this last turn, but you make $200 more. 200 gold more if you do it this turn. So go trade for 500, military alliance for 700, yep. And then you can confederate. Oh, there we go, good. So that's our first confederation done. This Death Hag is always scripted to be on your border there that you confederate, and we're going to be sending her to Albion, because of course that's where Rakarth is. That's her mission, and that's how we're going to acquire Rakarth and make contact with him by turn 8. Hellebrand, she's going to be in one of 2 places. She's either standing out here in the open in force march. She's going to get wiped out next turn, but that's fine, because she's going to take most of the enemy army with her, as well as eliminate these units that we didn't want to pay for, but on normal she'll probably live and they have less armies, so you have the option to follow up this turn, because this turn Malekith is going to walk up here, recruit 1, 2, 3 Dark Shards, and may as well get an extra level on his Sorceress by sending her over here to steal technology. Ah, she failed. If she passes, she gets Burning Head on turn 2, which of course is very nice. So that's all I would do, is move her up next turn, and then together they can fight the battle, get the experience for Crone, and then disband Ghrond, keeping the golden units for Malekith. But in this run through, this happens 9 times out of 10. She's here and she'll get wiped out. That's actually fine. But now just to look at the provinces. So we have Hargoneth over here. We are going to have no slaves here, because the idea is we're going to smash our barracks down and build public order. The Deadwood Sentinels are really peaceful. These guys will make an excellent border for us. So we're only going to be holding 2 of these, and we want them to be peaceful. So public order building to replace that, no slaves, it'll actually stabilize. And Naggarond, we're going to have the majority of our slaves coming into there. Also, it's time to build a marble quarry. Last up, just in diplomacy, now that we've done all of our spending, make sure you do your spending first. We're going to give the rest of our income to Clan Karond. 4. And if you're really lucky, you might be able to give him 5, but that's fine. So the idea is we're trying to build him up. There's a myth that they don't spend money because they're the AI. They do spend money, and a lot of the time if your ally isn't helping you out, it's because they're too broke. They won't risk themselves, so we want to keep them nice and well funded. They're going to build up structures that we'll inherit. They're going to build up armies that will take new lands, which we'll also inherit. And over the end turn, Crone will get attacked whilst in forced march. That is fine, right? We're just going to auto-resolve, and she's going to take a nasty chunk out of the enemy army. That's fine, we really didn't want to pay for her anyway. Turn 3, and the first thing we're doing is building public order in Hargoneth. We don't want that revolting. We want lots of revolts, but not there. Next up, let's get Malekith, and of course we're going to fight this on the field. And here we are on the battlefield. Hotkey all of your archers and have them lined up relatively close together. Most importantly, your 2 spear units up the front because of their shields. We're going to have our bolt thrower, have it on the multi-scatter shot, just so it's in range, but so it will be out of sight. Use your bolt thrower, target the enemy wall, and just sit back and relax. Hold Alt to skirt around the wall, move in range, and then start unloading hell. They're shooting into these dread spears. That's exactly what we want. And I could have protected my blackguard way better than that, but look, our archers are all in tip-top shape, so I'm happy enough with that. Of course, loot and occupy, we're getting those slaves and that extra gold, which will help both our economy and our confederations. Always dreaded slaver next. In Grond, we can build a gold mine there, so we're going to knock down this damaged artisan's house and replace it with a gold mine, just because it'll take so many turns for it to build. Make sure your hag is on course for Albion. See if we can get military access. 300. Accepted, good. And last up, speak to Mung and see if they will join your war with Clan Septic. No. They might do it next turn though. The bigger they get, the more keen they tend to be. Start of turn 4, our Death Hag will now be in the water and properly making her trek towards Rakarth. This is where your run might diverge slightly. So if Crone Hellebrand wasn't down in the open, she would have taken Spike Reach on turn 1, so you will already own that. The chances is that she had to die there and you don't own that. Don't worry about the rebellion, they'll be fine without you. You don't want any more armies running around, so let's take this. For battles like this, use the typical formation. Check out my formations video if you want to see that. Hold Alt, hold Control to turn it, and move it up. There we go. And of course, always use your chariots to try and scare away enemy archers and break them up. And there we go. And this time, just for a change, we're only going to occupy this one, right? We don't want this to rebel. See, we're negative 21, but 10 of that is conquest. At Grond, you'll now have money to build that gold mine. Definitely get that. And the highest priority is building the slave pens at your capital, Naggarond. Turn 5. Looking at diplomacy, we're just going to see if Mung will deal with us again. It is nice if they can. It'll depend how much they hate Clan Septic. No, but they might join the war against Grond. There we go, cool. I should have done that last turn. We don't want to go up there and deal with them for the longest time possible because they're just crap settlements. They take you away from where the real danger is down here. I really don't recommend it. But what I do recommend, let's attack this rebellion. Just make sure you use your spears on the flanks to tie up the enemy cav, and then you will have control. Just keep an eye on them, don't take your eyes off them, whatever you do. Okay, so we won that. Let's just take the captives, and we'll fight it again. Take the captives. So with that revolt defeated twice, we're going to go into force march now, and move our way up to Ashrak, because that's our next target. And diplomatically, we're actually going to give 2 gifts to these guys. We've actually got enough money, so we may as well. 1 and 2. Also because we want them to be doing quite well. If they can take 1 more settlement and leave them down to 1 settlement, that is a great situation to be in. And also we inherit their buildings, so that's a great idea. Start at turn 6, and if we look at the Road of Skulls, we've only got -8 modifier there, and that is because of our confederations. So we don't want to be going this far to deal with revolts. We're going to have them at Naggarond, we're going to have them at Grond. We don't want to be venturing further out this way when our exploits will be taking us down this way sooner than we know it. So cool. Make sure that your death hag is on course still. So here we are, we've now had the confederation penalty drop off, and if we wanted to, we could confederate these guys this turn. Now this is up to you, so the longer you leave Rakarth, the more he's going to take. If you actually leave him till about maybe turn 13 or so, he will have already taken Marienburg. Now, if you're an expansive player, that's a rich province, you might want that, but being brought into contact with the Empire, maybe not something that you want. And if you're a newer player, I would recommend not doing that. Just keep him sitting tight in Albion, and we're going to get him next. So we could take this confederation, but we're not going to yet. And in my experience, it doesn't help you get Morathi any sooner. She needs to fall before she'll even talk about confederation. Alright, and we're going to do this on the field, and we will valiantly win. Alrighty, for this battle, because we decided to attack the standalone lord, she's there, and all the reinforcements are coming in through here, so that is awesome. Come on, move up, move up. Yes, this will be a good one. Oh, rough. And as usual, we want to take those slaves. So we'll do this on the map, of course, to avoid any more casualties. So we're going to once again loot and occupy, and this completes our province. And now that our mage is on level 7, make sure you get her on a steed. This will really improve the opportunities, and she'll be able to run away and never die. Last of all, repair this building, it's worth it. The extra growth, provincial command, we're going to go growth for this one. Now, very importantly, we have our Black Ark. We can recruit that, and we're going to drop that at Naggarond, and this is the way we're going to deal with revolts. All of our revolts at Naggarond, we're going to pretty much just keep on hiring handbows here. We've got this rebellion here, and we're going to go down. And not only that, we are going to force march our tail all the way up there, as close as we can. Just going to put this one away. Make sure you're building 2 more Corsairs with handbows, and that's the end of your turn. Turn 9, this is going great. That money we invested in Clar Karond, they have managed to destroy the greenskins there. That is a huge help. You have no idea how good that is. So, like I said, investing in the minor factions that you're going to confederate isn't as silly as it sounds. Okay, a lot of the hate that people have towards the diplomacy is because all they do is take from the AI, they cripple them, you take all their money from trade deals, and they've got nothing left to really work with. You know what, let's just do it properly. There we go. Now, the next mission is to continue to sail down here. That's going to take us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns to get down there. Now, let's speak to Rakarth. He'll do non-aggression, but he won't do trade. That's fine. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to give him 1. And he has the Underdog trait as well, so he's going to be very easy to confederate. Like I said, we should have done this last turn. There is no reason why you can't do it last turn, but we're just going to roll with the punches here. So we're going to use Malekith to destroy this rebellion. And fight it manually to get 2 battles out of it. Turn number 10. Let's initiate diplomacy and see how we're looking. Okay, so he's 50. Cool, we can sell these agreements one by one, and it should get us there. So let's sell this for 600. Yeah, that'll do. Let's try military access. We'll go 300. Okay, 700. There we go. Cool, he's over 100, and we can confederate, which we absolutely will, but not before. We're going to make him pay for a military alliance that he won't even use. So let's try 600. Cool. And let's finally join Confederation. See, he hasn't actually engaged in anything around here yet, so not uncovered, not our problem. So this is going to end the war with Marienburg before we ever got into it. So if you're a really good player and you can expand really well, but you've got to be flexible enough to be able to hold it, and I just don't recommend it for an easy campaign. If you want to be macho, go for it. But if not, we've just got our island of 3 right there. Not a bad start at all. In the subsequent turns, we're going to, of course, unify the Iron Mountains. We'll get these guys, Confederate Morathi. We're going to use our Death Hag here to get eyes on Lokia. And then after that, we're going to Confederate Malice. And that's it for this guide. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing to be able to catch the second part in that. There are a lot of cool tricks, and it might take your Dark Elf Confederation game to the next step. This is Elven Plot Armor, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.